Shahi Magazine
for the blind.
In this lesson, we'll be dealing with must and have to, those little expressions that are to do with obligations and necessities. Okay, let's get going. We put must and have to in front of verbs to talk about obligations and necessities, and they are usually used interchangeably in natural English. Fair enough, I'm going to give you an example to demonstrate this. I have to see a doctor soon. I must see a doctor soon. As you probably notice that there's no difference between these two sentences. Must and have to have literally the same meaning in this example. However, must and have to can be slightly different from each other. We use must to express internal obligations and necessities. In other words, must is used to talk about decisions that we make for ourselves as well as for others. Examples: I must brush my teeth more. This is a decision that I'm making for myself. An internal obligation, an obligation that comes from the inside of somebody. You must do your homework. This is a necessity, an obligation, a decision that I am making for you, for example, for somebody else. So must is used when talking about necessities or obligations, okay, that can be personal, that somebody make for themselves or for somebody else. I must brush my teeth more. This is a personal obligation or necessity, a personal decision I'm making for myself. You must do your homework, and this is a decision, but I'm not making it for myself, but for some other people or somebody else. Have to, on the other hand, we use it when we want to express external obligations or necessities, or when we are talking about some decision that somebody else makes for us. It's the opposite of must. I use must to talk about a decision that either I make for myself or I make for somebody else. Have to, on the other hand, I use it when I want to talk about a decision that somebody else makes for me. This means that have to has a lot to do with rules, laws, and regulations. And now we are in the coronavirus era period. So the government, many governments in the world, have imposed mask wearing. They make it obligatory, kind of compulsory, mandatory. This means you have no choice. It is a decision that the government has made for you. You have to wear a face mask before you go out, okay? You have to wear a face mask. This is our example to illustrate our discussion about have to, okay? You have to wear a face mask, okay? This is a decision that somebody else has made for you. It's not your personal decision. You can't make this decision, okay? In fact, we can't say you can't, because you can. If you are responsible enough, you can, and you can say, I must wear a face mask if you are well aware of the danger of coronavirus. Okay? But in this case, in our example, you have, and we use you have to, the modal have to. This means that the decision comes from an external force, okay? From outside, not from inside you. Are not the decision maker. There's somebody else or some organization, government that imposes this on you. It's kind of a rule, a law, or a regulation. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
The others?
Yes, Miss.
Shirin,
Yes.
Shajan, Ilan, Burhan.
Miss, I have question. Do you mean about must? If I want to make decision and other people?
Yeah, a decision, but it's kind of obligatory, an obligation. It's necessary to do it, to do something, okay? You think that that is necessary to do something. You can use must for a personal obligation, something that you see yourself is necessary to do. No one is forcing you to do it, okay? And
Okay.
you can force somebody to do something, and this means you make some decision for somebody else. You can tell you must sleep early. And this is a decision, an obligation you are making for Shireen, okay?
Okay.
As well as you can say, I must sleep early. This one is for you. You see it necessary for you to sleep early.
Okay.
Have to is the complete opposite. One,
So I can say, can I
somebody,
say I have to sleep, for example?
I have,
To
they
sleep.
can use them. Yeah, it's acceptable to use it when speaking.
Okay.
But the grammatical rule says that have to is only used when there's some force, okay, that makes it necessary, compulsory for you to do something, which means you have no choice but do what is asked or what is required from you. Okay? When you are speaking,
thank you.
it is acceptable to use have to and must interchangeably.
Okay.
As in terms of which is correct in grammar is what I'm explaining now.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you want to make obligations in the future and the past, don't use must, okay? We don't use must in English to make obligations and necessities in the future as well as in the past. But what do we use instead? What do you think can we use instead? For future obligation. Yes, Talat?
Would using would?
No. I'm afraid it's not would. It's will plus something. Yeah, it's easy. Will have to. Okay?
Okay, miss.
For future obligations and necessities, we don't use must. We use will have to instead. And for past obligations, we don't use must. What do you use?
Miss,
Yes?
might.
Nope. Might is for
Miss, can you
possibility.
repeat it again? I wasn't here.
I said for future and past obligations, if you want to express a future or a past obligation, don't use must. Must is not correct.
Uh-huh.
What can you use instead? For
For
future,
future or past?
I
I
said it.
had to. I will have.
This is for past. Perfect.
Yeah, for future.
The
I'll have.
future we use you will have to or I'll have to. Depends on the person. Okay. And for past obligations we use okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. On to the negative forms of must and have to. So we have mustn't and don't have to, and they are quite different in meaning.
Are they
I'll
not
give you,
interchangeable?
no, they
Mhm.
are not interchangeable. I'll give you an example and try to find where they are different. Okay? You don't have to smoke in your office, and you mustn't smoke in your office. What's the difference between these two?
Miss,
Mustn't?
can I?
You don't.
Miss, can you
Yes?
repeat that?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a sec, Abdulaziz.
Okay.
So I said the negative forms of have to and must are don't have to and mustn't. Okay? In the negative forms, have to becomes don't have to or doesn't have to. Depends. And in the past, didn't have to, with all pronouns, with all people. And must, in the negative, becomes mustn't, must not. Now, I give you two example sentences and try to detect the difference between the meanings of mustn't and don't have to. First sentence, you don't have to smoke in your office. Second sentence, you mustn't, must not. You mustn't smoke in your office. Is it okay, Talar?
Okay, Miss.
Yes, Abdulaziz.
I think like if you use don't have to, it's like, how do you say it in English? Like more powerful than mustn't.
To express a strong obligation.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
When we use don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Well,
How about
I've heard
mustn't?
that. Well, it means like it's less strong. It has less strongness.
Aha.
So, for
Okay.
example, if you say you mustn't smoke, it means like it is bad for you, but you will decide for yourself. But if you say you don't have to, it means like someone is commanding you. That's what I understand.
Okay, thank you, Abdulaziz, in a way, for giving it a try. Who else wants to
Miss,
give it a try? Yes, Talar?
Miss, I say with Mr. And I say the first one is obligate. Just the next one is just necessary.
Which one? I don't have to.
Yes, I don't have to is
Oh,
obligate.
you don't have to.
Yes.
Sorry, you don't have to.
Sorry, Miss. You don't have to is obligate. Just you must is just necessary. No obligate.
Necessary and obligation are nearly the same. Okay.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Dylan?
Miss, you must not. I think it's important decision. القرار يعني.
Decision.
Yeah.
Decision. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when I say you must not smoke, it's meaning about don't smoking always. But when we use I don't have to smoke in the office, for example, just in office.
You mean when we use you mustn't smoke in the office, it means that you mustn't smoke everywhere, not only in the office.
Yeah.
But when using, you don't have to smoke in the office. It is limited to the place of work only.
Yeah, exactly.
But I use in the office the same place in both example sentences. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we failed.
Who wants to be today's star and find the right answer?
Let's think a bit.
You want to give it a second think?
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to thinking about like.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to smoke in the office. You mustn't smoke in the office. Focus on the intonation. You don't have to smoke in the office. You mustn't smoke in the office.
Can I say something else?
Yeah, definitely.
So
Go ahead.
You don't have to, like, as we know, like, it means a lot. For example, you are telling me, I'm not smoking, but you are telling me that you shouldn't smoke. You don't have to smoke, but you mustn't. I think I am in a smoking, like, I'm now smoking, and you are telling me that.
No.
You are insulting me, kind of.
No. In both cases, you are a smoker.
I know, but
Okay.
I mean, in the second one, in mustn't, like, I'm smoking right now, and you are telling me that. Yeah.
Nope. This is not the answer.
Miss,
Yes, Tala?
Miss, you don't have to. You don't do, and you don't the same obligated, and you don't do it. First one.
Come again, please, because I can't get your drift. Yeah?
About first one, you don't do, and you the same obligate, and you don't do it.
I can't get it. And the second? Tell me the second. Maybe I can link things together.
Okay. This second, just you mustn't, what you don't should, no doing.
Okay, I'll give you another example. You mustn't go out. You don't have to go out.
It's the same, Miss, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you another example in the hopes that this will help you work out the right answer.
Miss,
Example, your
can
parents
you
might tell you something like, one of them can say something like, you mustn't go out. And the other can say something like, you don't have to go out. In the first one, you mustn't go out. It's quite a sharp intonation, you know? But you don't have to go out, quite a soft intonation. Okay, I'll give you the last chance.
Miss?
Yeah?
Let's pretend that it is raining outside and you're telling me you mustn't go outside. For example, you are my mother. Let's pretend that you are my mother.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're telling me, Aziz, you mustn't go outside because it's raining, like it's drizzling, pouring. And in the second one, like you don't have to, so it means it is raining and I warned you, and it's up to you if whether you go or not.
It's up to you. The second one.
Kind of. You don't have to. Yeah.
That's it. That's it, Abdulaziz.
Ruqayya,
Yeah, Shirin.
so
What do
can
you want to
you
say?
explain to me? You
Shirin, we
have
are
in the
talking
end.
about must and have to.
Yeah, I know that.
And these two expressions, we use them both to talk about obligations.
Yeah.
In speaking, people use them interchangeably. This means one or the other, it's fine, it's okay. But in fact, okay, must and have to carry different meanings. Shirin,
Yeah.
are you following?
Yeah.
Must is used to talk about personal obligations, okay, or decisions. I use must to make some personal decisions, okay, to talk about obligations that come from the inside, from the person, okay, or else to make decisions for others. I can decide for you, okay, and make an obligation like you must sleep early, okay?
Yeah.
As well as you can say I must. You can decide it for yourself. This is a personal decision, obligation. You make it yourself. Nobody
Made for
force you
me.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. On the contrary, have to. Can you guess
Have to.
what have to is used for?
For example, you can
We use
say.
it to talk about external obligations.
Yeah.
When somebody, like your parents, your older sister, the government,
Yeah.
Masraqaya.
Yeah.
makes something kind of mandatory to do. It is necessary to do. You have to do it. It's kind of a law, a rule, a regulation. I'll give you the same example I gave to your friends a while ago. We are in coronavirus period, okay? And all governments, almost all around the globe, are imposing the regulation of masks wearing, okay?
Yeah.
So you can say, I have to wear a face mask before I go out because it is a rule, a law.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some force involved in making this rule or decision for you.
Yeah.
Is it clear? The
Yeah,
difference
clear.
between the two? Good.
Clear, yeah.
Really?
You know,
If it isn't, don't hesitate. Just let me know.
you know, again,
Must and have to. Okay.
Yeah.
You know that both expressions are used to talk about obligations.
Yeah.
Something that is necessary to do. That is obligatory. Okay?
Just a second, miss. Sorry for interrupting you, but I think I understood. Must, it's not up to me, but have to, it's up to me. Isn't it?
They are both. You have to do them. Necessities.
Ah, okay.
You are obliged. You have no choice but to do them. The difference between this and that, must and have to, is related to the person who makes it an obligation. Must, you are the boss. Okay? You are the one who makes the obligation with must. And you can be your very own boss, and you can be somebody else's boss. You have a little brother, don't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So you can tell him, you must sleep early.
Exactly.
Yeah, you are being your brother's boss, the force that makes this obligation, and he has no choice but do it. He has to sleep. He must do it. Okay?
Yeah. I'd have to.
And you can be your very own boss, the boss of yourself. You can say, I must exercise.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Here, decision is coming from you. You are the decision maker.
Yeah.
You can make a decision for yourself as well as for another person, sorry, or other people. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to. You are not the boss, but there's somebody else. Okay? You are following. You are not giving the instruction. You are not making the obligation like must, but there's some other person, and this person is like a boss. Okay? And you have to follow what they are saying. Yeah? Like, for example, Jilan, she can say something that, like, sorry, you have to do this and that. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I say something like, Jilan tells you to sleep early, you can understand, so according to Jilan, I have to sleep early.
Yeah. Got it.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Shirin, we talked about must and have to in the future. I mean, when I want to make an obligation in the future and the past, we shouldn't use must. We use in the future for future obligation. Obligations. We use will have to. Will, the modal will, plus have to.
Plus have to. Yeah.
And for past obligations, we use had to.
Yeah.
Must doesn't exist in future obligations and past obligations. Will have to for future obligations, had to
For past.
have to for past obligations.
Yeah.
Then we move to talk about the negative forms of have to and must. I gave your friend 2 sentences.
Must is mustn't.
Yeah, mustn't, and have to is don't have to.
Don't have to. Okay.
Don't have to or doesn't have to, depends on the person.
Yeah. Is it singular or plural?
Good. And didn't have to for past.
Past.
In the negative.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you these 2 example sentences, and you have to tell me the difference in meaning between the 2 sentences. Okay?
Okay.
You mustn't smoke in the office. You don't have to smoke in the office.
You mustn't smoke in the office. It's a rule, and you have to do it. You have to don't smoke there.
You follow. Okay.
Yeah. And the second one,
you don't have
to what?
To smoke in the office.
To
smoke in the office.
Yeah.
The same sentence, but with different modals. Must. The first one mustn't. The second one don't have.
So maybe in the office you were telling the others, and with have to, someone is telling you.
No. It has nothing to do with that.
Oh.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
So can you tell me the answer?
So, yeah, you know what? Aziz got half of the answer, and you got the other half of the answer, Shiri.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well done to you both, Aziz and Shiri.
So thanks a million.
Okay. You mustn't smoke in the office. You don't have to smoke in the office. What's the difference? Righto. You mustn't smoke in the office. This is mandatory. You have no choice. You are prohibited. There's no way that you can smoke in the office. You are not allowed to smoke in the office. Okay? You don't have to smoke in the office. It's optional, up to you. It's necessary not to smoke, but if you want to smoke, then you can. You have the choice to do it or not do it. Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes,
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah.
Han, Abdelaziz, Gilan, Shajan, Suzy.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
Of course, it's clear.
In fact, must, we can also use it to make recommendations. Example, if you go to India, you must visit Taj Mahal. Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
Taj
Taj
Mahal?
Mahal.
Yeah, Taj Mahal. That's it. This is a recommendation. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
We make recommendations using must. Okay?
What does it mean, recommendation, miss?
I'll give you an
Wait.
example, Salah, to explain the word recommendation. It's like a suggestion, but a strong one. You know, Talar, when you read a book and you think that the book is worth reading, okay? It's an interesting book. You can recommend the book to your friends to read it. You can say things like, yeah, I've read it. It's really an interesting book. You must read it. It's like saying, I suggest you to read it. Talar, got it?
Okay, yes.
I think that's it. So today we talked about must and have to, and must and have to are expressions we use to talk about obligations and necessities. In many instances, people can use, must and have to interchangeably, one or the other. Okay? However, these two expressions can have slightly different meanings. Must, we use it to refer to internal obligations, obligations that we make for ourselves as well as for others, whilst have to is to do with rules, laws, and regulations. This means that there's somebody else involved in making the decision for us, or the obligation for making it a necessity or an obligation. Then we didn't use must. For future obligations, we use will have to. For past obligations in the positive, we use had to. And for negative obligations, we use didn't have to. We also said that, or mentioned that must is also used to make kind of recommendations. And the last thing we discussed is must and have to in the negative. We examined the difference between the two. Mustn't, okay, the negative of must. And this is the short form. The full form is must not. The short form is mustn't. is used for obligations that you can't skip, you have to do. However, don't have to is used to express voluntary actions. This means it's up to you to do it or not do it. And that's all about today's lesson. Is everything clear?
Yes, everything is clear.
Yes.
Do you have
Yep.
something to add?
Well, I think I have.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be so glad.
So I think should is kind of relative to both of them.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
In like, I mean, recommendations, things like that.
You should,
We
I
should.
think you should quit smoking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is an advice.
Uh-huh.
It's not an obligation.
No, I said that like it's like kind of recommendation or advice.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Miss,
thank you. Yeah,
what about need to? Need to?
me too.
Yes.
Yeah, it has the meaning of necessity. Perfect. We can use need to. I need to go. Okay?
Miss,
Means I find it necessary for me to go. Perfect. Thank you, Tala.
Miss, what's different between need to and have to? Different. Strong
Different.
or
Yeah. Well, have to is more formal than need to.
okay.
Okay? Need to,
Yes.
you can find it more in casual speech, everyday conversation, more than have to. Otherwise,
Yes.
they are used interchangeably.
And Ms. Ruqayya, we like generally we compare between me to, no me to, need to and want to. Like
Want
need,
to?
for example, in terms of drinking water, we can say I want to drink water, but it's not necessary. If I don't drink it, I won't die. But if I say I need to, it means
Mhm.
like if I don't drink it, I will
Obligation,
die.
necessity.
Yeah, necessity.
Perfect. Yeah. That's why I said to Tala, we use it interchangeably with have to.
Mhm.
There's some thing that makes it obligatory to drink
Mhm.
water. If I don't, I might die.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Grace. Good for you. It's time
Okay.
for exercise.
Exercise.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to work individually or every two together?
Every two
What do you
together
prefer?
for me.
Okay.
Yeah, every two together.
Because you like to compete. Competitions.
Yeah.
So instead of, I want to make something like the winner will be the star of the lesson, okay? The best student in the
The
lesson.
bright star.
So it's not the student but the group. Who's gonna be the star group? Let's wait and see, shall we?
Mhm. Yes, we shall.
Shireen and Talar work
Yes.
together against Abdulaziz and Jilan.
Okay. Have any problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
You okay. I'll ask the first question.
Okay.
The question is the same. Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna
So
ask
who's
it
gonna
to
start first?
No, I'm gonna ask it to Shireen and Talar, give them a chance to discuss the answer, then hear the answer from them, then offer the same question to Abdulaziz and Jilan, give them a chance sometime to discuss the answer. When they give me the answer, I'll say what is it the right, or what was it the right answer. We'll do
Jilan?
the same in the second exercise, but in the third
Yes.
exercise I'll have 6 sentences, six questions. Shireen and Tala,
Yes.
Yeah.
the question is, okay, the question says, which of these uses of must and have to is different from the others? Which of these uses of must and have to is different from the others? Number one, you have to wear a face mask. Number two, you must do your homework. Number three, you don't have to speak English. And number four, you mustn't smoke here. The question again, which of these uses of must and have to is different from the others? Okay.
Different from.
So you mean different?
Yeah.
You mean different in meaning? In meaning?
Yeah.
In meanings?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. The first
Number
one. Okay. Yeah.
You have to wear a face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you must do your homework.
Work.
Number three, you don't have to speak English. Number four, you mustn't smoke here. Discuss the answer. Shireen and Shalal.
So,
Miss, I don't understand this question.
you know, she's
Okay.
asking us to find the different meanings.
Different meanings.
Yeah.
One is different.
I gave you
First.
4
Okay.
sentences. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
3 of them have the same meaning. And one is different in meaning. Try to find it.
Just first.
Miss,
Shireen, first.
yeah, okay, just a sec. Miss Ruqayya, the third one is different.
The first
The
one.
third, not.
You have
The
to
third one.
discuss.
Okay.
The third
I'm
one.
gonna repeat the sentences.
Okay.
You have to wear. Don't explain why is different. It is
Okay.
different. Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to explain because I'm gonna offer the same question to Abdulaziz and Jilan.
Okay.
Yes.
Shireen and Talar.
Yeah.
The question is, which of
Okay,
these uses of must and have to is different from the others? Sentence
Shireen,
number
the
1.
first one.
Yeah, Miss.
Don't
Repeat
interrupt.
again. Yeah.
Sentence number 1. You have to wear a face mask. Sentence number 2. You must do your homework. Sentence number 3. You don't have to speak English. And sentence number 4. You mustn't smoke here. Discuss.
Yes.
And give me
Shireen,
an
the
answer.
first one, because you can't all three, you don't do it. Just the first one is different.
Shireen.
You
Yeah.
are here.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think the first one is different.
Yeah, Tala, give her an answer.
The first one.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Same question. I'm going to offer it to Abdulaziz and Jilan.
Okay, Miss.
Okay.
I'm gonna
repeat.
I'm going to repeat the question for you.
Yeah.
Which of these uses of must and have to is different from the others? You have to wear a face mask. Number 2, you must do your homework. Number 3, you don't have to speak English. And number 4, you mustn't smoke here.
So what shall we do? Like give you
Which one of these
Mhm.
sentences is different in meaning? There's
It
one
means,
sentence which is different in meaning. Which one?
I think, Abdulaziz, I think the second sentence, but I'm not sure.
Which one?
You must do homework, I think.
Like, you must and have to are kind of the same.
No, she said,
Jilan, like we have four
yeah, okay.
sentences. Three of them are like the same meaning, kind of same meaning, but one of them is different. The fourth one, isn't it, Miss Raqaya?
Yes.
Yeah, one. These are 4 sentences. 3 of them have the
Three of them.
same meaning, and one is different.
Please just repeat all of them.
Sentences, okay.
But
You
slowly,
must,
so
okay.
that we can focus.
Sentence number 1.
Yeah.
You have to wear a face mask. Sentence number 2. You must do your homework. Sentence number 3. You don't have to speak English. Sentence number 4. You mustn't smoke here.
Oh, I got it. Jilan.
Okay.
The fourth one, like you mustn't, is like obligatory. It means like it's someone commanding you, I think, in my opinion. Because it means you mustn't, with intonation, sharp intonation.
Because the first she used don't, I think the second and the 3 also.
If it,
Just the
when
fourth.
we say you don't have to and you have to, or you must, they are kind of same meanings, but you mustn't, it's different. So do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you because it's correct, I think.
So Ms. Ruqayya,
okay,
that's our answer.
Tell her, yeah.
Give me the answer.
Yeah,
You
tell her
mustn't.
the answer. Yeah.
The first one.
No.
Really?
Neither group has the right answer. The different
So
one
it's
is the third one. You don't have to speak English. It's different from all the 3 sentences. Look, you have to wear a face mask. This is an obligation.
Yes.
You must do your homework. It's an obligation. You mustn't smoke here. An obligation. Okay? You are not allowed. Okay? There's an obligation in the negative. But you don't have to speak English. It's up to you. It's not an obligation. It's necessary, but not an obligation.
Okay.
Optional.
Yeah.
You can speak another language. You can use another language, not only English. You don't have to speak English.
So we missed this chance, unfortunately.
Did you get it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
This is the difference between don't have to and mustn't. Mustn't has the same meaning as have to and must.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Obligation, which means there's no way at all that you can do something. You mustn't. You are prohibited. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's forbidden. It's an obligation. An obligation in the negative. But you don't have to. It's not kind of compulsory. Like you have no choice. You have another choice to do it. You can do it and you can't do it. If you want, you can do it. Okay?